This is Jasmine Yvette.
And this is Tarriona Tank Ball.
And this is Mixed Company, New Orleans edition. I always knew when I opened my mouth, power was on the other end. My name is Jasmine Yvette. Originally born and raised in New Orleans, but my story is so similar to many of my neighbors, but not to the majority of the world. After losing my boyfriend to gun violence in front of me 11 years ago, my purpose became bigger than me. Living out my life motto, when I started to tell my story, I started to heal. But when I started to listen to other people's stories, I found my purpose. Mixed Company is a series of stories from some of the most influential, creative, inspiring culture shifters like Super Scent, PJ Morton Jr., Tank, and Big Frida from the same streets, neighborhoods, cities, or states you are from. You will know and feel inspired to be the next best success story straight from your hometown. Conversations about healing, change, truth, and the blueprint to success in life. It hasn't always been pretty, and some are still in the mud in the midst of their journey. But one thing, no matter where you come from or who you are, joining my conversation will allow you to see you are never alone. This conversation doesn't stop when the interview ends. Continuing this conversation is the mantra. Welcome to Mixed Company. I am sitting with Tarriona, correct? Mm-hmm. Tank Ball of Tank and the Bangas, a poet, a songstress, a rapper, a master artist, a part of a 5-piece New Orleans-based funk, soul, jazz, hip-hop collective, a New Orleans dream teller, Grammy-nominated, a goddess of words, a team player, a woman truly in tune with self, understanding self, and helping others understand self through her creative release through music.
Whoa.
Tank, welcome.
Thank you.
Was that good?
Yeah, that was, I'm like, who's she?
I love that. So it was fun to learn that your band and you first was auditioning for America's Got Talent. And having the time to create music, you had a list that was put in front of you. And with this list, you just came up with this funky, amazing sound that I think you and your band collectively heard and found with each other. What did that time teach you about yourself and the level of artistry you truly had inside of you?
Okay, well, we had always been together way before America's Got Talent.
Right.
But we wanted to try out this opportunity. And they gave us a list of songs, like you said, but it was songs that we weren't used to. You know, we was used to just doing a few originals, but mostly like really soulful covers.
Yes.
So when I saw this list and we had to pick one, and we saw Bruno Mars, Locked Out of Heaven, I was like, we gotta make that one our own. And that was like one of the first times we really stepped outside of our comfort zone. And they didn't pick us, of course, but Nick Cannon right there, he was like, they're not gonna understand. That's what he kept saying. It was like, dang. But it just made us reach and expand more. So I was really grateful for it. And it's that lesson that lets you know that not every L is truly a lose. It's a lesson, and it can truly expand you. I was really happy about it.
I love that. So something stood out to me in a post on Instagram. You thanked your cousin for giving you a poem to read at your grandparents' 50th anniversary. Can you bring me back to that poem of Baby Tank? I'm so interested.
I was messing up the poem so much.
Really?
Oh my God. My cousin Lexia, it was a poem called A Great Somebody that she gave all her little students. And I wanted to do it for my grandparents' anniversary. But I was practicing it all night. I'm like, I got this. I'm gonna kill this. And then when it got to being in a church, I started, I am a serious child. I am a serious child with serious goals. And if it takes hard work to reach, you know, I just kept forgetting it. But my grandma, she saw something special in me. I went around to every church before my grandfather preached. I did the poem. I got better and better. And, you know, just the fact that she believed in me just pushed me forward that I'm about to do something really great here. Even though all the kids was like laughing at me.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm about to do something great. My grandmother believes in me. I got a big voice. If y'all stop laughing, y'all can learn something.
Ooh, I love it.
So
that's
thank
amazing.
you, Lexi.
That's amazing. So you speak on how your sister really influenced mixing your poetry with music. Can you expand on her influence and how you decided to mix the two?
Well, my sister, she wrote, I used to read her poetry books all the time. I still know her poems by heart because they were so good.
Wow.
And but I was with a poetry group that made me mix the music and the singing together. Team Snow in New Orleans.
Okay.
Yeah, a poet. They was really good. Everybody in New Orleans liked to sing, even if you can't sing. So when we was in a group together, you know, it was easy for us to combine our poetry with the music, and it made us a standout. Yeah. You know, and after we won all these great awards and championships, I was like, it's time for me to like start my own group, you know, find my own voice, more time on the stage.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So what does poetry add for you personally in your music?
A true vulnerability. You know, I could probably be honest with a room full of people, say things that I couldn't say to somebody I've been loving for years, you know, but I could be vulnerable with them in a poem, and I could give a voice to people that there's so many people that really don't know how to express all these feelings inside. Yeah. You know, I happen to know how to do that, and so it's so damn good. It's fun. It really is.
You're so good at it.
Thank you. I don't want to compete with it anymore like I used to, but it is fun. I feel like why not leave out competition a national champion? Yeah. And then I don't want to keep competing for something I already got.
Well, you first touched my soul with your song Roller Coaster.
Your soul.
My soul. With the song Roller Coaster, it took me to a place I haven't been in a long time. The space of describing something so familiar to me. Speaking about Jazzland and those moments when we were kids, what did that time having that theme park in the city of New Orleans mean to you? And for kids back then?
It was just so freaking cool. Like, I live around the corner from a theme park. I get to walk there with my friends. What? I sold candy the whole time at school, and then I bought some season passes.
I love it.
What? Man, I was the girl that had the watermelon suckers. Yeah. And of course the Chinese noodles in my book sack. You know what I'm saying? And
what about the pickle? Did you take
I can't be having no juice with pickle. I can't be having no pickle joints in my bus out here. I knew you was going to ask about a pig lip up. I knew he was going to do it. But we did that at home. Okay. And at school, I sold like the little dry snakes. And me and my brothers and sisters, we saved up enough to get the season passes. I love it. It was just so cool. And then they had parades every now and then. The food was expensive and it was hot as hell. But I mean,
that theme park meant so much to the kids in the
It meant so much to us. Yeah. I think that some of the kids in my neighborhood was the reason that it went a little bankrupt, because we found a way to get in free. Right. Yeah, if you put a highlighter on your hand right here and you walk in, you get to make the people think that you already walked in and they stamped your hand. So it wasn't me though. I brought my passes like I let you know. But the kids up the street from me, that was from the projects. Yeah.
they needed that yellow stamp.
They needed it, and hey, y'all lived on Six Flags.
But you know, for Six Flags with me in Jazzland, I think it gave us a chance to be kids. Because New Orleans, these kids seem to me like
they need something. That's why they're breaking in the cars, and that's why they're robbing people and doing absolutely silly things, because the idle mind, you know what I'm saying, truly is the devil's workshop. So you have to find something for kids to do. And so many people I know even worked at Jazzland, and they worked at the movie theaters. Exactly. Like, I loved living in the East. You know, growing up in the 8th Ward and moving to the East, it really was two different worlds. It really was. Even the character and quality of person, not even saying better, just different. That's all. Different. Yeah. I appreciate what both of the neighborhoods gave to me. Yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what would you tell people about the beauty of our destruction here in New Orleans? For myself, being up north, they truly believe at times New Orleans isn't a place you can go live or raise a family, but no matter how big your career has gotten, you still stay home.
Yeah, I want to stay here. Yeah. I'm looking for a house right now.
Oh, that's dope.
Me and my best friend. House on earth. Hopefully.
I love that.
And because I've been all over the world, but ain't nothing like a New Orleans girl. Ain't nothing like New Orleans. Ain't nothing like it. I mean, I found places that's similar to it. You know, the architecture of Spain, the streets of Paris. You know, the windows in Italy. All of it. You're like, man, this
reminds you of home.
I know that people came here from these places and made New Orleans what it is. Yeah. But it's just so special. I would like to take roots here. It's scary because you know that just a little bit of rain
could flood us.
Just a little bit of rain. It wasn't even like that before, just a little bit. Yeah. So it's very scary to lay down your roots in such a place. But man,
It's nothing like it.
just give me a FEMA check. I'll rebuild it. Just give me that check. You hear me? I'm rebuild.
I love it. I love it. So how much does New Orleans truly inspire your music?
I thought you were about to ask me, how much is the FEMA check?
How much is the FEMA
Oh
check?
my God.
That would have been funny.
That'd be so funny. I was just a child. Oh, let me see how much. It inspires me a nice percentage. It's not necessarily the sound of New Orleans. Okay. It is the spirit, for sure. You know, I can't do what Frida do. You know, when I used to be out of town, we used to incorporate a little bounce in our set just to give people a feel of us. It's exhausting. Frida, hats off. Oh my God.
You're not lying.
The whole time, dude? No.
Moving your body and your voice.
Oh my God, I can't do that. It takes a lot. So I don't do it in that way. Yeah. Even if I touch it, I don't do it in that way. I don't do it in a way where I have a bunch of brass instruments. I don't do it in a way where I have classically trained jazz musicians. I do it in a way where my neighborhood and my sisters and my friends that I grew up with in Jazzland and the schools that I went to inspire me in such a way that I just carry it with me. Just like the way that we just speak to people off the porch. We go out of town and we'll do the same thing. So New Orleans doesn't always, to me, necessarily have a sound, but definitely a spirit, definitely a feeling. Right. And you bring it everywhere you go. You can have a conversation with anybody. And I love that.
And we stand out when we do talk.
And that's how we talk to the crowd.
Yes.
It's from everywhere.
So you and the Bangas are a band that travels, interact with your audience, and really use touring to share your sound with your fans. Yes. How has this year with coronavirus and this pandemic shifted how you've performed and continue to connect with your fans?
I think it's so weird how much you know about me. I think it's really weird.
Listen,
that's
I
first.
really
did your research? Yeah.
Did my research.
So how is it your sister? What do you know? Yeah. Okay. So.
Give me that stamp right now.
What does it do?
You're giving me my stamp.
Yeah, she's awesome. What does it do? It's affected us in a big way because we tour a lot. You know what I'm saying? But we needed the chill. We've been traveling we're home we're on the road at least more than 200 days a year. So, and only come home for holiday time. And even then it's time to still do things. So this has really changed, honestly, just the touring aspect of things. But we've had time to create, spend time with family, check on our own health, realize some things, you know what I'm saying? Talk to everybody in our group about issues of health and race. So it's just so important this time to reflect. And I think we'll come back, hopefully, honestly, stronger. So I think the world needed this adult timeout. You know, you hate what's going on, and we lost Ellis Marcellus. Who wants to do that? Especially if the city of New Orleans doesn't get to celebrate him and hold his casket high in the street while we, march down. But we needed to assess what was important to us, which is honestly in the Black community, health, wealth, and family.
Yes. You already sold out 3 days of the NOLA Drive and summer concert series that you know.
Yes, we did. I would say everybody because I have 1 day, then it's the Revivalist, then it's the Galactic, and it's all sold out.
But it's all sold out. Does it feel different for you when you sell out at home compared to anywhere else?
It's always special and you hope to do so. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel loved by New Orleans. I never not felt loved or supported or appreciated by New Orleans because they loved me first. But when you look at those numbers and you see that, New Orleans isn't the people that's listening the most to us. It's someone in California or New York or something. You're like, oh, okay. But it still feels cool and you want to give home the best show ever. That's why we always, for Jazz Fest and stuff, just want to go the extra mile because you want to always bring back that level of excellency and performanceship to New Orleans festivals.
Yeah. What can someone expect from the drive-in concert from Tank and the Bangas?
I don't know. I can't wait to know what's going to happen.
You don't know? Because it seems it's so different for me. I'm thinking of like a drive-in movie, but then I'm like, a drive-in concert?
But you also get to sit on the roof of your car, come outside, bring your little chair. Yeah, you can bring your chair and sit in your little, because you're going to have just the amount of space of say you're in a Walmart, drive through. You can step outside of your car, get on the roof, bring a chair, bring your own food, you know what I'm saying? We're going to have this special little cold situation where people come and bring you merch to your car if you order it. So that's going to be pretty cool.
I mean, this is what you're saying when you said we've been creating, because this is like a different...
We have been creating, just honestly, just music, period. Yeah. We don't have the time to do that on the road. you on the road, you're in the car, you do a show, you go to sleep, you do the same thing over and over. It could be quite exhausting. So just to be able to go by each other's house and just create music and have days that you're doing that, that's fun. You know, right now we're literally in the process of grinding out this very special dry pull-up type show.
Love that.
But I'm nervous too.
I'll get it.
Like, what's about to happen?
Right.
Y'all gonna honk or y'all gonna clap? You know, like,
y'all gonna honk your
how
horn?
close am I gonna be to y'all? Will I be able to connect? Because even at festivals, I don't even like when it's a barricade. You know, I like to feel my fans.
Exactly.
So we shall see. I don't want this to be the future, but right now it is the present, and I'm gonna walk into it. And I'm nervous, but I'm excited about it.
That's what's up. You stated in Vanity Fair that you want to be the person that leads the march from what's been going on underground for years and bring it above ground. Can you expand on that?
Yeah, thanks for reminding me about that, because that just definitely helps get the purpose more in line to what we're trying to do. There's just been, everybody just thinks like the scene is just jazz and brass bands and even now bounce, you know what I'm saying? But there's just so much underground that's been going on for years. The amazing artists at the open mic, the hip hop stars, you know, the amazing painters, the people on the street. I just been a part of these little pockets of hope that's been going on in New Orleans for years, and I just don't like that poets aren't mainstream when they're just so amazing. But you got mumble rappers who don't have really anything to say that's making billions, and you got people that's really want to honestly feed people, and I think that those are the people that should be on the front of it. And since I've been a part of this community so long in New Orleans, I think that I'm one of the people that hold the flag to let them believe we can do this. And I come from the same ground as you, and you can do this. You can do this, Karen. You can do this, Makia. You can do this, Berkeley. You can do this, Jelly. You can do this, Kayla. You know, you can do this, Raheem. You can do this, Sasha. Everybody that's been just grinding so long underneath and feeding our people when ain't no Essence in town. When ain't no Mardi Gras. Just at the club at night with a tip jar. I want them to know that this is possible for all of us, because it's possible for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
You are unapologetically a beautiful Black queen with curves.
Thank you.
And a style that is vibrant, different, unique. You give off a confidence like no other.
Whoa.
Where does all of this rainbow of confidence come from that you can wear anything you want, design your hair however you want, and still you exude a confidence of a woman that knows she is sexy, melanie, beautiful, and authentically original?
Dang, you heard that? Wow. You heard that, future husband? Let's see.
I love it.
First of all, I would think that it had to start with, honestly, probably leaving New Orleans.
Wow.
Because you can get your flavor and your soul from New Orleans, but it can be hard to be yourself if you're not what's considered New Orleans, what's considered cool. Frida is so New Orleans, Tootie is so New Orleans, but they also represent a certain part of New Orleans that I wasn't always very a part of. You know, it took me a very long time to go to a Second Line on Super Sunday because I was in church with my mother and my grandfather. And I had to leave New Orleans to become truly comfortable with myself, you know. I had to go to Indianapolis to be okay to wear my glasses because I'm extremely nearsighted and I think that I was a nerd. You know, I had to put my personality on my sleeves to gain new friends because I had none because of the storm. Go to a new school and you just kind of get to reinvent yourself, because when you're in New Orleans, I mean, if you were in middle school or high school, chances are a lot of these people went to elementary with you and they think they know who you are. And even if you've grown, you'll be scared to let them know that you're different. You know, so you really try to blend into the walls, even though we have so many standouts here, just so that somebody won't rib you, talk about you, outcast you. So I had to leave to become who I am, honestly, and then I came back and I was welcomed.
Yeah, and that's the same thing for me. Like I left 10 years ago, and the minute I walked back, it was like, hey, we missed you.
I got a new confidence. I seen some things, you know what I'm saying? So you're more comfortable being yourself, and even if it's not the same, blending in with everybody, you find that it's okay.
So why are you so comfortable at this point in your career? What would you credit that to?
Let me see, what would I credit that to?
Because you've been working, and you could just see it. You could see it in how you move. Like just now, earlier, you you start singing a little bit, and you're just comfortable. And I think it's just amazing.
I can. Oh my goodness, it would be honestly hard because I don't know. I got an acceptance inside, and I got an acceptance from just really amazing friends. I found a really great tribe, and I came from a good ground of sisters that always encouraged me. You know, I never thought that being dark skinned or bad was a bad thing. It wasn't until I got into this industry that I had an epiphany of, oh my goodness, the industry don't like brown girls. I never thought of it like that because I've always felt so loved and accepted and beautiful. And then I get in this world and I'm like, something isn't clicking. Something is going over people's heads. What is it? What is it? I went, oh, that's one part of it. That's why it's been so long since you've seen a chocolate sex symbol. You know what I'm saying? It's been Beyonce, it's been Nicki Minaj, it's been Cardi B. And Megan is the first one that got like a little brownness to it, just a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And she's still fighting. She's still fighting.
Very true.
So you haven't seen that, if not a long time or ever. And I went, oh wow, they don't. And that's why they're the bleaching creams. And that's why the celebrities get to a certain level and they change their face completely because they're looking at videos and they're looking at the comments and they're influenced by it.
Or they hear people, again, not to put any names, to say those women are exotic and we're just black or we're just normal. Yeah. And that can mess with a black woman.
So you gotta keep your tribe strong and you gotta keep yourself strong. And if you want to personally improve, then you make personal improvements. But you know, those changes that really don't change nothing on the inside. You're gonna have to work on that because you'll be looking like that cat woman.
You don't want to look like that.
You don't want to look like the cat woman. You know what I'm saying? Right. Because you know what that mean? That mean that you ain't changed nothing inside. And that's why you keep looking in the mirror thinking nothing ain't right. So I have to attribute it to the tribe and definitely my sisters. And just, you know, something inside of me still tells me, even though I feel like I'm fighting against a lot of odds, and I still feel special inside.
Yeah, you stand out.
I still feel special inside.
There was a room with Beyonce's and J. Lewis. To me, you would stand out. For real. The Bangas, your band. Tell me, what does a team and your band members, Joshua, Norman, Morel, Albert, Jelly, Danny, and I don't want to, I'm trying not to mess up this person's name.
Okay.
Is it Etienne?
Oh my God, that's funny. It's Etienne or Etienne.
Okay, Etienne.
I guess it's French.
Yes.
Named after one of them people. Etienne, yeah.
What do they mean to you, Tank?
Wow. Man. And there's even many that
I know there's even
more.
Right.
There's been such a long line of people that have sold into to Bangaville and what we are and who we are and all the singers that's been here and the musicians that we play with and our sets. Man, they've gone through so many musical changes. They really have. But these people represent, you know, how big something can be and how a different background can add so much to something and make it so much bigger than what it is. You know, Josh, they didn't grow up with me, so they have a different background. And Norman and Albert, all of them, they grew up somewhere different, so they add something different and they make it bigger. Wow. They can be super encouraging, very, very honest, you know, to the point where you're hurt.
It's just
and very, very loving and positive. And when one of us is getting out of pocket, you know, the other one definitely want to have a conversation with them so that we could just try to keep what we're preaching alive.
Yes.
Which is to promote, honestly, a positive life and being a magnet to good things, you know, because they will come to you if you speak it and if you ask for it and if you work for it. I think it's pretty much guaranteed to come to you, and if not, you just have to really accept that it probably really wasn't for you. And that's where you're good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. How proud and what are your thoughts on being a Black woman in 2020 today?
It is. It's hard. People don't really think it's hard because you are dealing with internet, history, family, stereotypes, trauma. Especially right now in 2020, you are looking at the majority of our people dying from something that's supposedly affecting everyone, but mainly us. You're in the middle of on the internet and watching your people die, you know, constantly, and then it's trending no more. You're in the middle of everybody trying to be a Black woman, or not trying, but not.
Not actually wanting to be.
Not knowing the true history and struggle of having this insane birthright and the passage that we really go through. Because you could, you go get your lips and your makeup anywhere, but it's just so much more to being who we are, and that we are supposedly strong, and that the hair, everything. The things we do to feel beautiful. You know what I'm saying? It's just so much.
But at the same time, do you not feel that as a Black woman right now, in today's time, we are more powerful than we ever been?
We've always been powerful to me. Our power is even messing with our men's power, because the way that everything is so systematically set, they made sure that our men would feel like crap so that we could feel strong and have to be strong. You know, with the way that they even threw them in jail over the silliest things, or how they felt after the war, what crack truly did to our neighborhoods, and how we had to really be the woman and the man of our family and take care of everything on our own, as if it wasn't our first time being mothers too, you know? Because men like to say, oh, it was my first time. I don't know how, my father wasn't there. Dang, well, it's my first time too. But we can't leave nothing that was made in us. So we don't leave, we stay, and now we're set to be strong, as if we ain't bleeding like everybody else. Do I think that we're absolutely amazing and resilient? We got just a little something extra that don't nobody have, no other woman have? I believe it, for sure. And I don't do I believe it, I know it. That's from being one, and from growing up around them, and from having friends that are Black women. It's just, in this time, like you asked me, in 2020, unlike any other years of my life, this 2020 has been very trying. It's been very hard, been very emotional. Yes, it has.
You performed virtually in the House of Blues for Essence 2020. To be able to be from New Orleans, being able to perform in one of the most historic music venues in New Orleans, and for the biggest festival that's been established in New Orleans for 25 years, what those moments do for you?
Was that the House of Blues?
Wasn't it the House of Blues? I was watching you.
No, it was another venue, right? There was the Republic, yes. The Republic. I just did the House of Blues recently.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the last one we did, which is awesome. Is still awesome. Republic is beautiful too, but just going back to the fact that it's just Essence. I mean, it's all just very cool. I mean, it's awesome. I mean, it's really cool. Honestly, I wish that nothing had to be that virtual specific way performance, because it's just not the same as the people and being hyped up. I respect what's going on right now and I understand it, but I do not want this to be the future. Forever. If I crowd wave, I need you to catch me, because if you crowd wave all the live, ain't nobody gonna catch you.
So how was it performing with nobody in front of you? I mean, did it feel like
we hype up each other, so it's all good, but it's good. You know, it's still that aspect that you miss, but you know, I mean, Essence is just cool within itself, but it's nothing like walking the Superdome and catching other people's sets. Like I mean, I've hosted my first Super Lounge before I went to before I performed, so I just have great memories connected to Essence.
2020 Grammy nominated for Best New Artist. You won the 2017 NPR Tiny Desk Contest up against 6,000 other amazing artists. All the hard work you've put in, what has been the biggest award you've received since the beginning of your career?
It's been so many of them, and so many of them got their own merit.
Yeah.
Like Tiny Desk literally changed our lives, you know. It really did, you know. And even though we didn't win, just being Grammy nominated just felt like such a win for the band and the city, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it's when you go out overseas, though. I've said this before, and you see that, you know, a crowd full of Europeans and that one Black girl, you know, you're like, I came here all the way for you. And the fact that you can go there, that you have the means to travel there, and you know, it's just so special. Even in Japan, you know, you just around these people that just know your music. That's the award, I think, that people know your music. It just feels so good, and it's all kinds of people. You're touching all kinds of. There's always somebody. I'm the oldest white fan. No, you're not, Dorothy, but I appreciate you.
I love it.
The fan base is wide, beautiful, and it's just it's cool that people still want to come out there and listen to that live music, because the radio, I believe personally, is feeding us a lot of junk to bring our spirit down. It's spirit-filled music, and you come for that. Yeah. That's the award.
That's the award. You are changing and bringing a new way to how music can be. What it can do for others, how healing truly it can be. Making a sound that has its very own lane. What are your hopes for your music from you and your band?
So many hopes. Of course, I have to be a Disney princess.
Yes.
I want to do the voiceover for that. I want the boys to individually win and collectively win big. You know, really. I mean, they all have so many dreams, and I want them to all fulfill those dreams. Yeah. You know, and that's owning homes, making big music, creating scores, all the stages that they ever wanted to be on. We really have touched them. You know, but that, I mean, just to be like an old lady chilling and then just call them and be like, yeah, I'm ready to do a tour. And we could do that. And it's sold out everywhere. You know, I want the dream that you don't have to do this when you don't want to do this, that you do this when you want to do this and you feel like you want to do this, and not that you have to do this.
I love that.
You know, that is the freaking goal, and that you love it. You know, that you could really retire off this lifestyle and live awesomely, knowing that you touched people and you still can and still will, even especially when you feel like it.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot to tour.
It is. Where do you want to sit in music history? What would you want your career to read when it's all said and done, Tank?
It would be great to be amongst the greats and the page turners. You know, the people that made that difference and even created their own genre. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, I didn't know how big funk was until I went to a George Clinton concert and I felt the gospel. And I went, this will feel. Damn! You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know it felt that spiritual. And I was like, whoa. Or if Drake could make up a new category, I surely can.
Sure can.
You know, in Grammys, meaning the singing and the rapping, combining them. I mean, I sure can. And that would be great that you knew that we took those chances, that we remained true to the core of who we were, and we weren't afraid to get experimental, but still have so much love in the music. Yes. That just would be such the goal, because you want to grow, but you want your fans to grow with you as well, because you know fans are fickle around that third album.
Well, you touched my heart without knowing you. You gave me a reason to hear myself through your poetry, your smile, your confidence. Your energy is nothing short of God himself. Everything you're doing for the city, for the kids that once saw Jazzland as the best place in the world, now sees you as their roller coaster of where you can go, how much fun you can have on this journey, the highs and the lows of life, all while smiling, laughing, and being authentically you. You are a gem. You are a healer. You are a special soul straight out of New Orleans, Louisiana, and I appreciate you for this interview.
Wow, thank you. That's so sweet. I think that's the sweetest thing I've heard all year, and I hear a lot of sweet things.
Thank you, though.
Thank you. That was so kind. Oh my gosh. Oh man, that just makes me smile.
Thanks.
I'm T-Tank.
T-Tank. This is Jasmine Yvette, and I'm here with Tank Ball, and this is Mixed Company, New Orleans edition. Check us out next time.